Hi there, my name is Bode, Ayodele, and once again you're welcome to another edition of Go For It, Achieve Your Dreams. As we've said in the past, this program takes a look at various models and concepts, a good number of them business related, that could help enhance personal success. We take a look at these models and we break them down and present them in a way that makes them simple and easy for everyone to adapt them and use them to accomplish success in life. Today we're going to be taking a look at keeping the flag in view. Keeping the flag in view. Now, this is the one that I said is taken from golf. In golf, there is usually, I'll just give you a rundown of the basics of golf. There's a course of 18 holes. And every hole has, the tee box, which is where the golfer starts, hits a stationary ball. And there's a, what's called a green. Now in the midst of the green, there's a hole. So the objective in golf is to tee off, which is when you hit the ball for the first time from the stationary position. Remember there are 18 of these. Is to hit the ball in the least number of hits as possible until it gets into the hole. So if you are fortunate enough and you hit it from the tee box and it drops into the hole, then that's called a hole-in-one, a hole-in-one shot. So, which is the best you can achieve on that particular hole. But, in many cases, especially for beginners, you might hit the ball and it, goes off trajectory, out of, the straight line through which you want to maintain towards getting your ball into the hole. Now, why we call this concept, or why I've called this concept keep the flag in view, is that to aid you, for every hole, there's a flag. Now, why that flag is there is to help the golfer to focus. If you notice, one thing that happens in golf is that the golfer always looks at the flag. There could be cases where a ball, falls into the woods and you've got trees all over the place. So let's assume when the golfer hits the ball, it comes somewhere behind the trees. When the golfer goes there, the first thing he does is looks at the flag. He keeps the flag in view. Now, there's also what you call the rough. The rough is the area where, you're not supposed to play. It's still grass, but it's usually much more thicker. You notice that the golf course is made of, very smooth, lush green, where, the ball rolls easily when it hits the ground towards the green itself, which is much smoother before you eventually put it into the hole. Because when you get to the green, you're expected to try to just tap it in. You don't need to hit it into the air because the distance is very small. So that grass is always much smoother. But remember, the concept is to always keep the flag in view. There is no way you can attain the possibility of getting your ball eventually into the hole if you take your eyes off the flag. You always want to know where the flag is. Now, adapting this and relating it to real life, that flag is like your goal. Your goal is your target in life. So in other words, when you start, no matter where you might end up finding yourself, behind the trees, in the rough, even you could find your ball in the bunker. A bunker is a hole of sand that is dug on the course. They would give you an idea of how many hits you should use to get the ball into the hole. So if it's a par 4, if you do it in 4 hits, then you've been able to save par. You didn't get any points, you didn't lose any. But if you hit it in 1 and it goes in, that's a hole in 1. If it's a par 4, then you've gained 3 points, because the remaining 3 hits, are yours. You didn't need to use them. You only hit once, then you move on to the next hole. But we're not going into the technicalities of golf, and you understand what I'm saying if basically you are a golfer. But what we're looking at is this concept of keeping the flag in view. The easiest way as a good golfer, or whatever, to get your ball into that hole, you always have to look at the flag. Where's the flag? Wherever I am, where's the flag? You don't say, oh, my ball has gone behind the trees, it's out of bounds, I'm no longer playing. No, just look at the flag. Because when you focus on where the flag is, there's a likelihood that your ball will follow, that trajectory and get closer and closer to the hole if it doesn't go in. So, no matter what you want to achieve in life, when you set out, a lot of things might come up. You might hit a detour, you might go off the pathway. But always keep that goal in view. It's like a sat-nav. When you are setting out to a destination, you set your sat-nav stating that this is where I'm going to. You might end up finding that you go, off course to probably another area. But once your sat-nav is working, you focus on it and you follow it until it eventually takes you back to the pathway to your destination. So always have it in mind that no matter what, I might veer off, but I know where I'm going to. I'm keeping my flag in view. This is what I want to accomplish. I mean, yep, you could say when I'm 25, I want to be a millionaire, and probably you only have 5 years, you're 20. So each year is like you hitting that ball. 1, 2, 3, 4, then you've just got one tap, 5. So if this hole is a par 5 and you hit it, that means you saved par. You didn't get any points, but at least you were able to accomplish your goal. There are people who will set their goal to be at par with the hole because probably they don't see the possibility of them hitting it any, less number than that, because probably it's a hard hole or they're not that good. Now, if you want to say, you're saying, okay, I'm going to be a millionaire at 25, and at 28, you're yet to make your millions. Remember, you've still got to keep the flag in view. The flag is that I want to be a millionaire. So even though you're 8 years, you're 3 years out of target, if you keep the flag in view, you keep doing the things that you realize you need to do every now and then to become a millionaire. Like, for instance, listening to Go For It, Achieve Your Dreams, and taking note of the exercises, reading the success statements that accompany them. Eventually, you will accomplish your target. So probably, instead of becoming a millionaire at 25, you might become a millionaire at 30 or 35. The fact that you accomplish your goal is, because you're able to keep the flag in view. You're able to remain focused on the fact that you're going to achieve that dream one day or the other. So if you want to be a success, just like a golfer, always keep the flag in view. Set a goal and remain focused on accomplishing it, no matter how long it takes, no matter if you veer off target. Once you always have it in mind that I'm going to get there, you will eventually get there. Keep the flag in view.